Question I get asked all the time: what microphone should I use to make my voice sound better? That depends on what room you're going to be singing or rapping or whatever you're doing in. It doesn't matter if you're rapping or singing. All that matters is what room are you going to be doing this in and what your voice sounds like. So, first, the room matters because if you're in a noisy room, you can't use the same mic as you would use if you had a dead quiet vocal booth. A dead quiet vocal booth is built so that you can turn up compression and in the noise floor a lot. You can turn that up and the mic will pick up everything. It'll pick up all the little nuances in your vocal when you move and do little flutters and every little breath or little every single thing. If you smack your lips together, the thing is going to hear it. Okay, that's not always ideal for certain types of singing. Specifically, if you think of like the Chili Peppers, Anthony Kiedis is using an SM7 in most of the stuff historically, like Blood Sugar Sex Magic, that kind of thing. He's holding an SM57 in most of the stuff I see in there, and that's what it seems like he's most comfortable using in most of the interviews you see. His voice works well on that mic. It just works. It just comes out of the speakers, cuts through the music, and sounds perfect. That's the same thing that you can kind of look for if you're rapping and you're in a room that's kind of noisy. You want a mic that you can put right in front of you, has a lot of good rejection of everything around it. So that if you have the cats meowing, you won't hear it. If you got the dogs barking, you won't hear it. If there's a truck outside, you won't hear it. If there's birds chirping, you won't hear it. Use a dynamic mic so that you don't hear all the outside stuff because dynamic mics have very good rejection. Use a large diaphragm condenser mic like a U47 or a U67 or a C12 or a C800. Use those kind of mics. If you have a vocal booth that's quiet, you're in a place that's really good treatment on the walls, no reflections, no noises, no air conditioning, no hums, use a large diaphragm condenser and you'll notice you hear a lot more of the subtle detail of your voice. There's probably going to be a little more of a hyped top end also, a little more extension on the highs. So it'll sound like it's more open, more air. Some people prefer that. Everybody's different. I'm pretty sure every U2 vocal by Bono is done with a SM58, which is a $100 dynamic microphone made by Shure, an SM58 in the control room. Okay, so he's in the control room singing the vocals. He's not in the vocal booth. There's probably other people around, and he's using a dynamic mic, SM58, the same mic that probably 99% of gigging bands use on their vocals. Very common, popular mic. So the point is there's no right or wrong, okay? Adele's probably not going to use that mic, but if she did, she'd still sound great because her voice is great. So keep that in mind also. Grain of salt here, all right? Good singers are going to sound good no matter what you put in front of them. But some will sound better on dynamic mics and some will sound better on large diaphragm condenser mics, and a lot will depend on the room you're in. Don't force it. Don't force a dynamic mic into the room. Don't force a large diaphragm condenser, like a tube condenser, into the room and put compression on it and everything. If you're in a room with janky pipes or something, don't be doing that. If you got to run the heat all the time and it makes a buzzing noise, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you're in Alaska and you got seals outside barking at you, you can't use that mic. I think you get it. All right, well, more coming at you. And take it easy, deep breaths. You got this. This is a piece of cake.